SlateIM is an experimental plugin for Unreal Engine 5 since 5.6 for creating immediate mode interfaces, similarly to ImGui. For example, UMG uses retain mode. To clarify the differences between these, think of immediate mode is like drawing in the sand. Best for debug purposes, store simple data that can change often, easy to clean, while retained mode is like building with Legos. Best for more complex structures, UI that can stay built over time. The example I prepared here is a simple SlateIM that you can use to call out functions from blueprints. Best of both worlds. So, quickly running through the code. Getting the modules we need in the build.cs file. Then, in the two main code files, delegates so we can listen to the UI events. I included two types here, buttons and toggles, so here are the properties for them. Then I have a controller that stores all the goodness that we can call from blueprints, like what happens when clicking the buttons and toggles. And to be easily called from anywhere, tethering it to a subsystem. Here's where the SlateIM stuff starts to come into play. I'm using f/SlateIM exposed base, as well the base of things, and then drawing the buttons and toggles we'll have. Lastly, I wanted to have this window dockable, so prepped everything needed for this. And for the implementation, in the controller section, the logic for adding buttons and toggles working as toggles, the subsystem where we call our stuff from, showing, hiding, toggling the window as options. In the SlateIM section, all the pointers, then drawing the stuff to the screen, similarly to how Slate is assembling the UI, drawing the buttons, toggles. Then, keeping a single tab per session so we don't spam this too badly. And lastly, self-registering this tab. And then, in Blueprints, stuff looks like this. Having the SlateIM plugin that everything we did so far is probably a good idea to have it enabled. Also, made Pi to be always on top, because SlateIM sometimes minimizes the Pi window, which could be a bug. Then, in the pawn or character, in this case, I added a shortcut key to trigger the window, either show or hide or toggle as I used here. Then, from the start, getting the controller, adding some buttons, a toggle, can add as many as you want of these, then binding these. And then, in the binded functions, can add whatever you want, again, as many as you want. You can add them in switch on name, but in my case, just some print strings to demo it quickly. And for checking it out, this works in Pi or Viewport, whatever you prefer, and works like a charm. For a deeper dive, I recommend checking something like SlateIM.toggle test suite window command, which has a bunch of cool examples, and some of these code files. And that's basic implementation of SlateIM. Thanks for watching.